What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Evan, and you know Mob's up to no good. So today we're going to be working on the 300 SRT8. We're going to be changing out the front upper control arms so we could get a little more adjustment when we take it for an alignment. And I do need to change, even though I did change in the head gasket video, the tie rod ends. The boot around it has ripped up, so we're going to go ahead and change it, even though the actual tie rod itself is not gone bad, but I don't want anything to go into the boot and destroy the tie rod end. So we're going to go ahead and change it with a different brand called Mevotech, and we're just going to primarily focus on doing the front upper control arm so we can get a little better alignment when we go for the alignment, and then that's pretty much it. So I'm going to bring the camera in and I'll show you what we got. All right, you guys, so we got the Moog. This is part number RK100211, or you can look it up on Rock Auto. That's where I got mine. It comes with the grease fitting right here. It comes with the I guess that's a cover here for the bushing here, and there's adjustment up here. This is for the front right. I have the other one in the garage, and this is how it looks. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove the stock one off of the vehicle. This is how it looks. We're gonna put some grease here, and we're gonna make sure this is nice and tight. We're gonna try to put it back or eyeball it as close as possible to where it is right now until we could get it to the alignment shop, hopefully sometime this week or weekend, and we could get it adjusted. And this will hopefully bring my alignment a little more closer to where it needs to be, so it doesn't wear out the front tires, because the front car is lowered. So this is a pretty good brand, front right upper control arm that I found on Rock Auto. They did have it on wholesale, so we got a good price on it, and it does include the let's see if we could, and it does include the actual ball joint installation and upper control arm, so it does tell you how to do it. So yeah, so nothing too crazy. We're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna lift the car up, put everything on put the car up on jack stands, and go from there. So let's get to it. All right, you guys, so we're pretty much finished, pretty much wrapped everything up. I did straighten the wheels out as best as possible by just eyeballing it and keeping the steering wheel straight, or making sure the steering wheel was straight before trying to align it by eyes, you know, just with my eyesight, just to see if we could get it as straight as possible. The wheels do look straight, but we're not going to be able to tell until we get it up on the alignment rack and we can actually have a digital readout, and we could see, you know, if we're off maybe a few degrees or maybe we're off way too much. But just by looking at it, it does look straight. The steering wheel is not crooked by any chance. It's actually pretty straight. But like I said, we're not gonna really know until we get it up on the alignment, and until I drive it to the alignment. If the steering wheel is pulling to the left, then I'll know. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, I eyeballed it as much as possible to get it as straight as possible. Everything is nice and tight. Greased everything, including all the fittings or the ball joints, everything inside the upper control arm, whatever needed greasing, I greased, you know, because I don't want the stuff to get rusted, especially since, you know, I live here in New York and the streets of New York are horrible, and in the wintertime they dump a ton of salt, and I don't want this stuff to get rusted, and I can't, you know, remove it if I need to, or if I need to adjust something later down the road, I won't be able to do so. So everything's been pretty much greased up. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the camera in and show you guys, you know, how straight it looks just by, you know, me eyeballing it. In the near future, or maybe when I take it to the alignment shop, I'm gonna ask the alignment guy if we really need to do the rears. I believe they sell rear camber bushings, which allow you to bring the tire either to positive camber or negative camber. In other words, you bring the tire inwards or outwards. So I'm gonna see. He told me that it's not that bad in the rear, but you know me, I like to have things as close as perfect as possible, or, you know, bring it as close as straight of a wheel. So in other words, have those wheels look straight as possible in the rear, because, you know, just a little bit is a little bit. It will wear out. Even if it's a little bit, it might not wear out as quickly as the front were, because the front were pretty bad. But that's pretty much what we have going on. Everything inside the motor has been tightened down, like by the frame. The control arm bolts have been tightened down. So I basically rested the car down first, so I don't bind up the bushings. So I let the car down, and then I tighten the bolts up here to make sure that the bolts don't get binded up. I mean, the bushing doesn't get binded up, because if you would have tightened the bolts with the car raised up, it would have binded the bushing. So we didn't do that. I brought it down, tightened everything down, attached all the connections. All the grounds have been connected, or whatever I moved. The antifreeze reservoir is put back where it needs to be. Tighten the bolts down, snug them up, and that's pretty much it. We torqued down the wheels, and I'm gonna bring the camera in to show you guys. Nothing is touching, like the actual spindle is not touching the shock or anything like that. So I'll bring the camera in and try to show you guys with the flashlight, and hopefully you guys can see. All right, you guys, so here we go. I don't know if you guys can see. Let's pull this up. Let's move this up just a bit. The wheels kind of look straight. I don't know if you guys can tell. It looked kind of straight. Obviously it's a little difficult. Obviously I eyeballed it, but wheels kind of look straight just by me eyeballing it. Let's bring the camera here and see. It does look straight. I mean, I think that wheel has to come inwards with the tie rod. You gotta, you know, when we take it to the alignment shop, we'll be able to have them, you know, adjust everything. But let's go on the other side and see how it looks. And then this one too doesn't look bad either. If you move here, yeah, I think the wheel has to come inwards a little bit, but other than that, I think we pretty much eyeballed it pretty good. The steering wheel is straight, so if we open the door, let's see if I could, steering wheel is a little straight. It looks straight. Maybe it could come to your right, but yeah, we pretty much got it as close as possible. Let's move this and go underneath and see how it looks, and see that nothing is actually touching. So let's bring this down and let's go underneath. Hopefully you guys can see. Let's put the light here And yep, yep. Oops, sorry you guys, but yeah, nothing's touching. So that arm is not touching. It's not touching the shock or the spring. Everything looks clear here. So we have a lot of clearance here, so we're good. So nothing's touching here. And then the other side as well. You probably can't see. We got to go on the other side. But nothing's touching over here, so we're really good on this side. So let's go on the other side real quick. Let's go underneath. Let's put this here. Let's see if we could see. Alright, guys. So yeah, you guys, I don't know if you guys can tell. That arm's not touching the shock or the spring. So we're pretty much clear here. So we have no issues over here at all. So we're good. So let's get out of under the car. Let's bring the light. Alright, you guys. For those who haven't seen the motor, this is how clean it looks. Yes, it's a little dirty, but it's running like a champ. But anyways, you guys, let's put the camera down and we'll continue. Alright, you guys, real quick before I forget something very important. When you're ordering the parts and you're doing this for your Chrysler, whether it's the adjustable control arms or just a standard replacement control arms, make sure that you know which one is for the front left and which one's for the front right. There's a part number here. You might want to just check online to see which one is front right and which one's front left, so you don't confuse them, because if you put them on in the wrong position, or you put the left one on the right and the right on the left, you're going to have an issue with the alignment and the control arm's not going to work properly. You're going to have some binding issues. Who knows what you're going to have. So just make sure it doesn't say on the box. So I actually had to look it up online. And also when you're taking them apart or taking them out of the car, make sure to match the control arm with the new one or the new one with the old one, so you know which one goes where, and to note the orientation, so you know the orientation. In my case, these dots here, or these dimples here, or these flat spots here, are for the top side, or in other words, this is let's put the box on so I can actually explain it a little better. So basically, the way you see this control arm is the way it goes. So I believe these flat spots are there, and in case the control arm ever comes up, it will hit these flat spots here. If you try to put it in the upside down way, and let's say this ball joint wasn't there and you're installing the ball joint and it's an adjustable one, these are here, so this is going to bang upwards if this control arm ever comes up. So make sure that you know which way or which orientation this control arm goes, so you know how to install it. So match them up, and this way you don't have any issues. So there you go. All right, you guys, so we pretty much installed the adjustable Moog upper control arms on both sides. We greased all the fittings, the actual control arm, the ball joint itself. We also installed off camera the tie rod ends, which actually were destroyed. I didn't show you guys, or I didn't tell you guys, but we had issues with the tie rod ends, so we put in some Mevotech tie rod ends, because the other ones, the boot ripped up, and one of the rod or the rod that moves within the tie rod was no good, so we had to replace them. So replace them off camera. So pretty much everything has been installed. I tightened everything down, or snug everything up. Obviously I eyeballed the alignment. We're not gonna be able to tell until we get the car up on the lift and they do the alignment. But for right now, I eyeballed it, and the steering wheel is straight. But we'll see when I drive tomorrow if the steering wheel is pulling to the left or the right. Other than that, that's pretty much it, you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And with that being said, you know the vibes. I'm out.